Hi, folks. So we're going to start our deep dive uh, into best practices over water, land, and air. My name is Vaibhav Kala. I'm Senior Vice President at ATOAI. I run a company called Aquaterra Adventures, and I've been guiding mountain and river trips for the last 35 years. Right. So here we go. I'm going to start with water, right? And like Jerry said, preparation is the key for any time that you are in the outdoors, anytime you're planning an adventure, and preparation is what we're going to start with. Uh, and with preparation, there's that acknowledgement of risk and acknowledgement of the team. It's a full buy-in by the organization that this stuff is risky. It takes effort, and there is an unknown. And these sort of forces of nature come in all sizes. I don't know whether you can spot the kayaks in there. These are the biggest rapids on the planet in Congo, the Inga Rapids. Some of them are unnavigable, some are very friendly, some are in desolate environments, remote and at altitude. Some are very big in volume. Size does matter when it comes to water as well. Some have complex obstacles, some are very, very technical, some have extremely steep gradient, potentially risky, fairly remote at times, which increases your inherent risk, risky maneuvers, cold water, very demanding on several levels, continuous, fast and steep. So I'm going to talk about a couple of concepts. One of them is, which is what we use on our operations. What is the Swiss cheese model of safety? If you look at the picture, so it believes that accidents in safety management are rarely caused by just one mistake. It explains that incidents happen when a series of small weaknesses, gaps, which are represented by the holes in the slices of the cheese, creates a clear path for hazards to get through. Uh, so to understand it, pretty much each slice represents a barrier to hazards. The barriers may be physical equipment, experience, procedural. The holes represent gaps or weaknesses. They may appear due to human error, poor design, unclear procedures, unclear SOPs, rushed decision making. And that's when accidents happen, when you have a clear line through these barriers. Multiple gaps will lead you to a situation, an incident, a casualty, an accident. The other concept is the PEEPS concept. Yeah, it's the person, as in your health and well-being. And this is what I meant by the buy-in by the team. All our guides, all our trip leaders need to buy into this. They need to be highly aware of this when they're operating on the ground. How are our people? Is everyone feeling good? Is anyone sick, dehydrated? Is anyone stressed? Are they able to finish the objective that they came for? E is for environment and conditions. What are the temperatures that we're looking at? Is anyone is everyone kitted out in terms of equipment? How are your partners? Are you able to partner up with someone? Is there someone to help you on your expedition? And the last one being the scenario. Walking through situations that potentially may occur during your expedition. And these are things that ground teams need to be really aware of. What happens if this happens? How are we going to take the person out? Worst case scenarios, yeah? And that is how you're able to mitigate that risk, manage that risk. I don't know if any one of you heard about this accident in Chile about 11 years ago. The founder of North Face was on a kayak trip in Chile, yeah? And if you go down to the PEEPS model, if you review it, and had it been reviewed earlier at that point in time, I mean, hindsight is always good, it gives us 20/20 vision, right? But in terms of when you come to P, the whole group was feeling well. They were a very experienced group. They were led by top guides on the planet. The environment was well. The lake was at 3 degrees Celsius. The water and body temperature spread was massive. Yeah? The winds each day were getting progressively stronger. By 10:30 a.m. on that day, it was about 50 miles per hour gusts, 6-foot waves coming from multiple directions. Equipment, apparently Doug's kayak had a faulty rudder. Yeah, this could have been checked earlier. And very importantly, again, only 2 of the 6 were wearing a wetsuit in such cold conditions. Uh, When you come to partners, this was a group traveling together. How the decisions was made to separate, Doug tried to head to shore. Who made that call? Why was it made? Why was it not planned, etc. And the scenario, the critical question should have been, what should have been done had a boat capsized? Should everyone have huddled together? Should everyone have headed to shore? So all these questions really bring you to the answers as to how this could have been prevented. And the learnings is that you control all variables that make or break your journey, making good decisions. Well, best practice is how do we prepare our guides and trip leaders to make these good decisions? Experience is often the best teacher, the most valuable tool. Study of accidents apparently contributes a lot to learning from accidents, how not to do it. India has a very abysmal record of accident sharing. We're at about 5 to 6% of accidents that happen. Incident reporting is all-time low. You are all aware of the Ganga. It's north of Rishikesh. Is probably the busiest river running stretch on the planet. 280 companies. It's largely class 3. It's non-technical pool drop. There's road access throughout. Relatively warm temperatures, no danger of hypothermia. Medical help is available throughout. Massive guide and equipment hub. We've had an approximate 30 deaths till 2020. These are river running deaths on the water under guided commercial trips. Only 5% accident reports have been shared so far. And we've had over 35 beach drowning incidents as well. Coming back to case reviews, how do we learn from accidents? There are some, I won't go into details, but this is how it's done the world over. When you have an accident, you put out an incident report. We spoke about the Maldives incident. I don't know how long, Neil, you'll get, but we'd love to hear from that, what you found out, what happened to those people. But all these incidents have been recorded. They've been shared. And there's no dearth of it. I'm not going to go into everything, but yeah, that's how people have learned. That's how there's a repository of accident reports, conditions, what happened, what was the reaction, and typically the net result is that one bad decision leads to another. As the string grows, the alternates to ensure a safe option, it reduces drastically. So our teams, it all comes down to our teams, our people on the ground. They have to be trained to think, decide, and act quickly and correctly. And that's something that we all must endeavor to. And the case reviews learning is that the accidents keep repeating themselves. The same thing happens again and again and again, and which is why it's really important to keep sharing what we see, near misses, incident reports, accidents. So India needs to up that thing. We need a repository of, I think Maninder, you've been working on that, getting accident reports together. Superbly important. The devil is in the detail. And this is going to only go one way, because the changing trend is that more and more people are going to the outdoors, more and more people are undertaking these activities, and over time, the physical ability of our guests is coming down. It's not as good as it was in the 80s and the 90s. More people are doing it, but they may not be able to, have the right skills. I'll cover a quick case study on the Wall Rapid. This is the biggest rapid on the Ganga River. A lot of you may have gone down it. And we've had some accidents on the wall. It has a dreaded left eddy, and safety must be planned, in advance. It's okay to have safety, but if it's not positioned correctly, it's really of very little help. So in the early 90s, when there were no dams on the Ganga, the wall was, it was a free-flowing river. It was a massive rapid. If you see the left of the picture, there's a big eddy on the bottom, and there have been rescues that have gone on till 11 o'clock at night on this rapid. And even at the time, in the 90s, when I started guiding, there were no safety kayakers on the river, so the effort was always to put one raft in the eddy. There had to be somebody there, because if there was a chance that the swimmers would end up there. Yeah. And it all comes down, again, the best practice for dealing with difficult scenarios, challenging objectives is understanding by the team that, hey, we need to stop before the rapid. We need to scout for sure. There's no option about it, a mandatory scout. Prepare your guests, check every life vest, check every helmet, check every foot brace. Ask them whether they're They're okay to go down it, tell them the truth, tell them that there is a 50-50 chance you may swim, you can get stuck. And that's when you really take charge and you go down. And when things go south, there's very little you can do except your training. Your training, again, needs to be top-notch. People drown in water. They drown very easily. It's a painful death. It starts with an involuntary period of laryngospasm, and then it's slow. So on remote trips, on difficult stretches, always carry an AED. They're available in India now. They're very compact. You can carry it. On high, cold, remote expeditions, always do that, and it could save your lives. Prevention, like I said before, understanding of risk by the team leader. It comes from experience and knowledge. It has to be transmitted to the entire team. The minimizing of the risk is your company's responsibility, and everyone in the company must understand that. Communication to clients, a lot of what we hear, even at the ATOI, office and issues that come up boils down to issues with lack of communication to guests. Before on arrival, briefings every day. What all is covered? Are liability waivers signed? Is going to the water highlighted? What are the dangers? What is the environment? What do you do? Even little things like don't go barefoot on a riverbed. Is swimming allowed? What is your night out time? When do you not go to the river? When everyone's asleep? Is your entire team sensitized? What happens when you're not on the water, but we're just hanging by a water body? Warning signs is a must. That's something we've been dealing with on the Ganga. We've asked them to put signs everywhere because they're unnecessary drowning deaths, people picnicking. So something as simple as a warning sign can save lives. PFD and rescue bags are must, absolutely must by the river. Make an activity popular. A supervised activity is always a good way to avoid people randomly going to the water themselves. Get guests to take responsibility, and ask them to leave if they don't obey rules. About guiding and safety briefings, we get all nationalities, and a big gap is simple and plain communication. All guides must be able to deliver a safety briefing in an international language like English. There are over 350 guides in Hokkaido that speak perfect Japanese. So it's really easy for people to do this, and that's a big gap in the industry. And a lot of the accidents also happen because there's a gap in understanding between what is being said and what is meant. Checking about medical issues on trip, equipment checks. I mean, these are little things. I am going to run through a lot of this quickly. We are short on time. Briefings on the water, just little things like equipment checks, logbooks, who sits where on the boat. Something as simple as that comes with experience. And yeah. Guest fitness screening. Do you have ample screening for who's coming on your adventure? A lot of us may not be asking the right questions. Who are you? What have you done before? Is this trip for you? Something as simple as that can have huge impact. Equipment inspection protocols. What is the status of your PFDs, helmets? Do you have logbooks that tell you when they were last bought? When are they going to be retired? Emergency response and communication, trip leaders must have adequate knowledge of how to operate an AED, where the stretcher is kept, where is the first aid kit at every point in time. All guides must have at least a WFA certification. Never run anything that is off limits by any yardstick. Anything that your team is not used to running must not be run. Safety standards, again, certification. Swiftwater rescue is extremely important if you're trip leading difficult expeditions. If you're running trips across the Himalaya or overseas, you must be able to have a Swiftwater rescue certification. Mental readiness. A lot of guides get very, very tired, and I've seen that myself. I used to be one of those myself, running multiple trips a day. It does, bear on you. fatigue? Is your team fatigued? Is everyone getting a break? Something as simple as that, a day off, a weekly day off. The quick reference, pre-trip checklist that most of you know. I'm not going to state the obvious. But more and more, the basis of safe trips is becoming, is good trip leaders, good guides, on-water training, the safety program. There's no substitute for logging in miles, an actual experience on ground. There's a checklist for company owners. We're going to share this with you. I'm not going to run, I'm going to make up some time. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take some. And of course, I'm here all day in case you want to come have a chat. Yes, please, Taranjay.
Can you just speak like that?
Sure.
So you talked about, the near misses and also sharing best practices. Do we have a platform where we can do that?
Sharing.
Except the ATOAI membership, ATOAI member WhatsApp group. I mean, besides that, do we have a permanent document, uploaded on our website or somewhere we can share our best practices and also report the near misses? Because I can always get back to the last year or year before, what happened, on the Ganga or whichever river or a trek or expedition, we can just find that out. WhatsApp group, usually the messages gets disappear.
Agreed.
Neil, in one of his presentation, he gave a lot of emphasis on reporting near misses. That's really very important because it can prevent the future accidents. So do we have that plan? Do we have a platform like that?
So we don't. I know Maninder can tell us more on his session right after me, but there has been talk about it. I know for now what you can do is if you have any, if you know any, just write into ATOI. I remember I passed an ATOI Hall of Fame award in 2013 because we had an incident on Stoke Kangri, and till I submitted a full report, I desisted from accepting it. So I think for now, the best way is to at least write it to the Secretariat. If you know of a near miss or an incident, or if you've had one yourself, the idea is to not feel shy and share it because your sharing is going to help someone else get smarter.
Yeah, my purpose was asking, that we should have a permanent document record somewhere, that it can be referred back anytime.
Great idea. We'll build that in the very near future.
Thanks, dear.
Thanks. Anybody else? Thank you, guys. Harsh, over to you.
Vaibhav, thank you so much for this enlightening presentation.